think the speed that everything changed after
Oh,
it was just, it got to the point that it hadn't even registered that that is
yeah.
what had happened. Crazy, like the following day, the amount of stuff that I actioned was,
Wow.
when I look at it now, I'm just like, wow, just like, what took me so long?
We're here today with Louise, who's going to talk about her experiences of getting over self-sabotage. And before we start, I just want to say big thank you to you, Louise, for doing this video for testimonial. It's really, really great. And these things are worth their weight in gold, because for anyone who's sort of sitting on the fence or is unsure about what to expect or what it's going to be like, hearing someone who's had a session and just what it's like for them and the results that they got is just so, so valuable. So thank you.
Thank
So,
you.
and so what I want to do today is let's both start by talking about what was the issue that you wanted to address.
Well, I remember when I came to you, I really wasn't that kind of specific about what was going on. I was trying to launch a business and was just really struggling, getting it. I knew I was getting in my own way. I was procrastinating. I just couldn't understand why I just couldn't get this work done. And it wasn't like I hadn't set up a business before. I've set up three businesses before. So it wasn't something new. So I didn't know like what was getting in the way. And really that kind of initial conversation that we had, I think it was you that kind of got out of me that I was self-sabotaging. And when we explored that a little bit further, I knew that even from a young child, that I'd always felt really invisible. And that's how I suddenly realized that was what I was being and doing. So it was very easy to say, like, oh, like no one's coming to me, no one's ringing me, no one's making appointments, but I wasn't putting myself out there. I was very invisible. So we ended up doing the session, I think, more around like self-sabotage and just being more
Yeah,
available or more visible in the
yeah,
public eye. So yeah, it was a
fantastic.
fantastic session.
So, what most surprised you about the session that we did?
I think the speed that everything changed
Oh,
after it was just, it got to the point that it hadn't even registered that that is
yeah,
what had happened. Um, yeah, I mean, crazy. Like the following day, the amount of stuff that I actioned was,
wow.
when I look at it now, I'm just like, wow, just like, what took me so long? Well, what I'd been putting off for like months, literally achieved in the next kind of 48 hours, really.
That's so cool. That's fine.
Yes,
And
really cool.
and like we never met in person, so how was it? How's the
No.
experience of working online? Like, how did
Oh,
that feel?
brilliant. Yeah, so lovely. Yeah, yeah, we haven't worked together before. I hadn't actually experienced hypnosis before, not like a trance. I didn't really know how it was gonna feel.
Hmm.
So it was just so deeply relaxing and
Hmm.
like I felt so good. I thought it was lovely. The chat we had at the beginning to actually kind of work out what the problem was, that was so helpful. You were
Yeah.
so brilliant at really narrowing down on what the specific kind of problem was where I was getting in
Hmm.
my own way. That was just amazing. And then the hypnosis process was just so relaxing and I really didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Very kind of hazy on whatever was said
Hmm.
or but just I came out of it feeling really good.
Hmm.
Uh, and like I say, and the next day and then the following day after that as well, just went into,
Oh,
you know,
fantastic.
full speed.
So what's changed? So you talked about the next 48 hours. What's changed since that 48 hours?
Yeah, so well, I was running an anxiety group for women. That was an in-person group. I didn't like how it was working, and I couldn't run it as I wanted to because I had some young children that were coming with the parents, and it just made it impossible to do. And although I'd gone with it for a long time, I'd stopped promoting the group because it felt that I couldn't give everything that I wanted to. The following day, I just made a decision. That changed immediately. By the next day, all the new dates for the group had been set, the boundaries had been set, the terms and conditions had been set, the program had been set, the women that I felt I couldn't support in the group, I was supporting separately. So that
Hmm.
was huge, like just on its
Yeah.
own. I also brought in, so somebody I use in one of my other businesses, I kind of like took to one side and gave him the job of being my like IT for web development. helping with like brochures for advertising. So that very quickly all started happening as
Yeah.
well. Oh my God, there was so much stuff. Oh, I wanted to do a course for teenagers. I've been trying to do that or thought about that for ages. It was all in my head and finally managed to get that all down on paper. This is
Wow.
within 2 days, right? 2 days, okay. Um, got the fundamental part down and then ran the first week that I would do for the kids with the women as a
Yeah.
test. And they knew I
Hmm.
was testing it out. And the feedback was so incredible. And
Wow.
yeah, and it's like, oh my God, I think I've been so scared of getting it wrong. And then realized it's just feedback,
Yeah.
it's just feedback. All of it's feedback. So yeah, so all steam ahead.
That's
But
amazing. Yeah.
it was just incredible. Incredible.
Fantastic. That's fine. So, what would you say to the biggest skeptic that there is about hypnosis and NLP? Like, what would you say to them?
Well, do you know what? Even though like I'm learning more and more about obviously NLP and hypnotherapy, I was a little bit skeptical, if I'm honest. I'd had it, well, only because I'd had a limited experience with hypnotherapy, and I didn't know really what trance felt like um, until I did the session with you, and I hadn't had any dramatic change until I did the session with you. So although it was something I've been really interested in, and I've seen it work for so many people, and I'm really fired up with anything that can help with anxiety, be it NLP,
Hmm.
EFT, gamma mindset, and now like with hypnotherapy, this was something I wanted to understand so badly and hadn't really felt like I'd had a good experience with it. And then I meet you, and I can honestly say now, I definitely have no, um, I didn't feel like I thought it was going to be like, I don't know what I thought it was going to feel like. I felt really relaxed, so relaxed. It was like a daydream. I kind of remember your voice at the beginning and it kind of drifted in and drifted out. And then I remember you counting me back out. And I definitely wasn't asleep. I was just really relaxed.
Hmm.
So I think the biggest skeptics that I know who have had hypnotherapy, and I think how I felt with a couple of sessions that I'd had with other people in the past, was I just sat and listened to them for the whole
Hmm.
session, and then I didn't feel any different at the time. I just found your session amazing, right from start to end. Like your care, the way you're so curious and investigative. What's the right
Yeah.
word? And
Yeah.
just how you investigate what the problem is, and then just like the difference that it's made in my life is yeah, unbelievable in such a short time.
Well, fantastic. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for doing this, and you know,
Thank you.
really good. I'm really looking to see the great things you're going to do because, you're on fire.
Yeah, no, I am. Yeah, watch out, world.
Thank you so much. Thank you for doing these video testimonials. Like I said, they're so valuable for people who have questions or want to understand what it's going to be like.
Yeah.
So if you're like Louise and you're interested, you can book a discovery call through my website. So thank you. Thanks.
Thanks you. Thank you, Nikki.